So you guys remember Josh Wingrove? He was the drummer in the music video that we did, the Freebird music video that we did with Exhorter.
Sounds like this if you haven't heard it.
Or another song from Exhorter that he was also the drummer in.
Sounds like this.
If you ain't got nothing, don't talk to me.
Or the couple reactions he's been on, something like this.
Yeah.
So
And they were
right
stuck
after.
there. They tried to get out, like her husband came and tried to pull him out and everything, and
What?
just totally like yanked the car and scratched it up against the log, and the whole time we're like, we're just trying to shoot a video, man.
Oh.
Anyway,
He's a
he
good
was,
friend of ours. He's a really good friend of ours. I've known
Yeah.
him in the community. Big time drummer, basically like the best drummer in the state of Wyoming as far as I'm concerned. Really deep into the music community here. Super good dude. Really awesome person to have around. He was involved in a horrible car accident over the last, I think it was this last weekend. In order to help him recoup some of the medical bills that he's going to be facing in the near future, we decided that we're going to help him promote his Venmo and his Cashapp on the channel, just because we want to reach out in any way that we can to help him with this, because we love him dearly, and we know what he's about to be up against, and so.
Yeah.
So we have dropped his information into the comment section, or into our description. It's one of the first things you'll see down there. It's his Venmo, his Cash App. They're the same thing, so either one works for if you want to send him any money or help him out or anything like that. We understand money's tight. We're not asking you to do this as a requirement. We're just saying if you'd like to help out our friend, he would greatly appreciate it, and we just...
Yeah, and the big thing is like, number one, he is one of like the nicest dudes you ever meet.
Oh,
one
dude.
of the hardest working individuals.
Yeah.
And he's also got a kid.
Yep.
And he now has a broken neck and a back and
Yeah,
lacerated
broken neck.
kidneys
Yep.
and liver. I mean,
He's got all sorts of
he's
shit
in
going
rough
on.
shape.
He's very lucky to be here, honestly,
Yeah.
after what happened. If we can find a photo of the vehicle, maybe we should throw that in as well, because it's pretty tragic. So.
Yeah, basically rolled 7 times at 80 miles an hour.
Yep.
It was pretty wild.
Yep, so.
But yeah, I can't imagine being in his shoes wondering, like, yeah, number one, I got to take care of myself, but I also have a kid that I have to take care of in the process of all of this, and it's very scary. He works oil field, which he won't be able to do for a long time.
Yep.
And who knows if he'll ever be able to drum the way that he has. With these type of injuries, you just never know.
Yeah, he's got
it's going to be a long road.
Long road of recovery ahead of him, and we're just here to help him out any way that we can. And if you guys want to join us in that journey or join us in that fight, we would love the help. Information is in the description below. Just wanted to get that out before we start these episodes. We appreciate the hell out of you guys being here. And if you want any more information, our Instagram handles are in the description as well. We're more than welcome, or more than happy to talk to you about what's going on, things like that. So
and don't donate to our PayPal.
No.
Donate directly to him.
We have
send
his
it to him.
actual Cash App and Venmo there. That's the one you want.
Yes.
And you'll see it right down in there. So thank you guys for being here. And with that, let's get on with the episode, shall we?
Get to the video.
All right. "307 Reacts." I am Matt. That is Chris.
Yeah.
You guys are the best audience in the world. We have a few things to go through really quick right at the beginning of this, so bear with us. If you want to skip past this, someone's probably going to put a tag down in the comments that says when the video starts. Go to there. If you don't want to listen, just got a few things to say really quick. First of all, thank you guys for sticking around for our Josh Wingrove promo. He's our boy. We're trying to help him any way we can. His Cash App and Venmo is in the description. If you guys want any more information on that, our Instagram handles are also in that description. Send us a message. We're more than happy to tell you anything you need to know if you didn't already get that information in the video. Secondly, you're gonna be seeing that for a little while. We're gonna push that promotion out, and then we're gonna re-push that promotion. Or we're gonna do a new promotion. Me and Doobie built a new computer for the studio. Our good friend Doobie, we call him Doobie. His name's Alex Rich. You see him in the comment section. He's trying to get his feet wet into building computers, custom computers for people. So if you need a custom computer built, or if you know somebody that needs a custom computer built, or you just need some consultation on some things or some advice or anything like that, get a hold of Alex. He's your man. We'll have more on that. I'm going to put in some shots of the computer later on down the road. Third thing. What was the third thing I said in the last video? I can't remember what
We
it
are
was.
going live.
We are going live. I think that was number 4. But yeah, we are going to go live this weekend. So that'll be, what day is that?
That is fucking Saturday.
22nd.
22nd.
That'll be the 22nd. Yeah, that'll be Saturday, February 22nd just hang on,
Easy
Nick.
now, Nick.
Saturday,
Okay.
February 22nd at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's when we'll be going live on the page. We are doing a fundraiser. Our drum set is in much need of repair. It needs some upgrading. So we're gonna be taking donations based on doing reactions. What do you say? How do you do that?
I think it's typically
We're doing reactions for something. I don't know. We're taking reaction requests. That's what it is.
God
That's
dang,
how you
just
word it.
fucking.
I
You
split,
open too many tabs in my brain at once.
split a wormhole
Okay,
in
It
the
just
universe
fucking,
right there. We'll be taking reaction requests on Saturday in order to help make some improvements around the
Jesus.
studio so that we can start bringing in live bands in here and doing live band stuff on our YouTube channel. Like we said we were going to last Christmas, but in order to get that done, we just got to update some stuff around here.
Yeah.
That's number one right there because that thing is in major disrepair, and it's like one of the
number
main,
one's already done.
Well, number one is done.
Number two.
Yep. We're just going by things that were in the worst condition and working our way back. So that's next for sure. So this Saturday, be sure to join us there. If you have a reaction in mind that you've been wanting us to get to, now would be the time to do it. So
Independent.
Independent. No labels, no copyrights, none of that stuff. So just keep an eye on that stuff. And we'll see you Saturday. Now it's time. On the screen in front of us, it is our boy Nick, Fat Electrician, Fat Files. I'm pretty sure these are this week is Fat Files. This video is called America's Raisin Cartel. What?
I read the title and just added it to the
like
list.
actual raisins, like the little California.
I would assume so. Yes.
See, I read these titles when they come onto the screen. I'm like,
That's exactly what I thought. I saw the title and I was like,
Raisin Cartel.
I gotta know.
Yeah.
It's going on the list.
I'm sure whatever it is there's gonna be some unbelievable history to it. That by the end of this, I'm just gonna be like,
That makes
every
sense, sorta, maybe.
Fat
I
Electrician
don't
video
know.
that's on the screen, I feel like by the end of it, I'm just like, I'm completely blown away by what I've just heard and what I've experienced. So excited to do that again. If you guys are along for the ride, all we're asking for is a subscription. Oh, Patreon.
Yes.
We have 2 new Patreon episodes. There's a Patreon link in the description if you're interested in that. We're not asking you to go over there, but we are cooking stuff out over there. Like things are happening. We've got I don't know, somewhere between like 40 and 60 videos over there now. So
speaking of, 10 for 10 on the Bandcamp page.
Yes.
Okay, just released a new T-shirt of the Cadillac and the U-Haul trailer on
no
it.
shit.
And I ordered it, and it is at my house.
No.
I forgot to wear it tonight.
Dude, okay, I gotta get me one of those.
Yeah.
I gotta get me one of those. Dude, those are so cool.
I told Joey, I was like, dude, you guys, that picture you put on
Yeah,
Facebook,
the
I said, you
cartoon
guys
one?
need that on a shirt.
Yeah.
The next day, it was on their website. And I went that same night. I was the first one to get one.
Hell yes, dude.
$25.
That's
okay.
awesome. Okay,
Like, These guys, they're insane. But anyway.
10 for 10. Patreon, Doobie,
Yes.
Josh. Going live on Saturday. That covers it.
That covers it.
Fat Electrician on the
Busy.
screen, America's Raisin Cartel. Please hit that subscribe button. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I take a little bit of pride in the fact that I don't think I've ever engaged in just downright clickbait with an absurd title that has nothing to do with the video.
Well, it got me.
And I'm not going to start today. This is absolutely real.
This is absolutely
Today we're
real.
talking about the United States Raisin Cartel, an entity that is so powerful at its peak, was able to confiscate half of a farmer's crop and pay them absolutely nothing in return. This entity was
Jesus.
so powerful and so ingrained in the U.S. system that it took a 13-year legal battle going all the way to the Supreme Court twice before it could be overturned. And we're going to get into it right after word for our sponsor.
What? Oh, shit.
Oh, they got you, man.
Oh, it's over. It's over, dude.
Yes, sweetheart.
Where are you?
Fishing, just like you told me to.
Where? I mean, your truck is still here.
I'm just upstairs playing Fishing Clash. It's too cold outside.
Nicholas,
What?
I told you I wanted real fish tonight, not from your game.
Oh, I thought you just wanted me to have fun.
No, never.
No, never, never.
Imaginary fish, just like I can't spend your imaginary internet money.
First of all, Bitcoin is real.
Whatever, your mother's coming over soon, so just go to the store and get some fish.
Okay, fine. Never gonna get laid.
You forgot to hang up, and if you want to get laid more, you gotta last more than 2 minutes.
Okay, first of all, last night doesn't count. It was doggy style, so that's technically 14 minutes, okay? Show some respect.
Goodbye.
Bye,
That's
love ya.
technically
Show some
14
respect,
Fish
minutes.
you ever could in real life from all over the world, all in the
Let's start
comfort
using
of
that
your
more.
own
Show
home.
some
Not only
respect,
that, but
okay?
Fishing Clash is completely customizable, allowing you to unlock and upgrade all of your equipment and even building your own fishing village. They also have daily and weekly events.
It's a
Well,
new game, dude.
I
get sucked
I
into.
thought I was going to get something done this year. And then this happened.
Helldivers.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, Chris.
Fishing Clash.
This could be a rough one for me.
I tell you,
This could
I
be-
remember-
You can build your own fishing. Did you hear him? Did you hear him
village.
say village?
Okay,
I heard
village.
village in there.
A whole town.
It's
all
over.
they do is fish.
I don't even know why I'm still in this room. I have things to do. Anyways, sorry, what were you gonna say?
I remember. Do you remember what was it? Bassmasters, like 2003 or whatever, it came out on the PC. God, dude, that game, I must have played the fuck out of that game.
I used to hate fishing. As a kid, I hated it. I did not like going because my parents would always force me to go, and I didn't want to do it. So, like, as a kid, I didn't like fishing video games. I didn't like fucking any aspect of it all. Until I finally, grew up, became an adult, and then one of my friends showed me that it's actually fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is actually really cool. No wonder there's such a big community around it. Everybody loves doing it. And there's literally countries and ports and things that rely on fishing in order to, like, fund their economy and shit. Yes, but as a kid, I did not like it. But now as an adult, I'm completely obsessed. So like, you guys might not see me again until I'm 37.
Yeah,
it could be just I might have to get a fill in.
The next couple years are gonna be rough, guys.
I'm gonna get a fill in, and it's just we're gonna breeze it over like nothing happened.
Like nothing.
There will
happened.
be no. It's not gonna be like, oh, this is so and so.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be someone with a completely different name, looks nothing like me at all, and we're just gonna breeze right over it. And you guys are just gonna understand that I'm playing Fishing Clash.
Yes.
That's what it is. That's what happened to me. If anyone wonders from this moment forward where I'm at or what's been going on, that you have the answer. It's on the screen.
You can upgrade all of your equipment and even building your own fishing village. They also have daily and weekly events allowing you to compete against other people. But you don't just have to play with random strangers on the internet. You can actually join or make your own clan and play with your friends.
We gonna be busy.
Let's go. Features like customizable boats and the versus
customizable
boats. Fat Files, you're gonna get $20 worth of free equipment and power-ups right out of the gate. So if you want to give Fishing Clash a try, I'm gonna have a link and a code down below. Let's get back to the video.
I'll be scanning
so generally speaking, whenever you end up somewhere stupid, like I don't know, having a Raisin Cartel, it's usually pretty beneficial to understand how you got to that ridiculous point so that we can never ever do it again. So we're going to take it from the top. So our story begins in the 1930s during the Great Depression. Americans are poor and they're starving. So in 1932, they elect a new president, FDR, that is supposedly going to be able to turn this entire thing around. So once he gets into office, he pretty much immediately leaps into action, or wheels into action, issuing a ton of new economic policies, most of which were done through executive order. These policies are usually all lumped together and referred to as the New Deal. Now, if you talk to somebody that was alive during this period of time, a lot of those people believe that the New Deal policies is actually what pulled America out of the Great Depression. And then if you talk to a lot of different historians or economists, they believe that the New Deal policies actually prolonged the Great Depression. Regardless, the policy that we're focusing on today is the AAA, or the Agricultural Adjustment Act, that happened in 1933. Now, what the Agricultural Adjustment Act attempted to address was the fact that pretty much nobody in America had any money for basically anything, including food. That meant if they couldn't buy food, demand went down, which meant the prices went down, which meant the farmers were making less money. And obviously that makes business very hard for the farmers, and some of them were going to go out of business and they weren't going to be able to keep up their operation, and we can't allow that to happen because then everybody's going to starve to death. So the policy's intent was to solve a very good problem that needed to be solved. However, how they decided to go about it was kind of fucking dumb. Under the Agricultural Adjustment Act, basically the government would collect tax money and then take that tax money and give it to farmers in exchange for destroying or just not planting a portion of their crop. Farmers were literally paid by the government with U.S. tax dollars to burn entire fields of crops. They killed over 6 million pigs and just let the meat rot, and they dumped out millions and millions of gallons of milk.
It's amazing what these who's just throw away. Oh well. One man's toxic sludge is another man's potpourri.
Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down as to why this was a stupid fucking idea, the people can't afford to buy food, which meant the farmers couldn't sell food. So the government came in and said,
I'm from the government.
God, I was waiting. I was waiting for this clip. I was going to say it at the beginning.
It's always here.
Yeah, when he first talked about FDR, I was literally going to be like, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. I knew it was coming at some point. It doesn't need to be said. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
What? Cash for clunkers.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
It's literally the same. It's a pre-cash for clunkers.
Yeah.
How many pre-cash for clunkers have there been leading up to cash for clunkers?
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing. We have all these vehicles, and nobody's buying vehicles right now, so we're just going to destroy them.
Yeah. So people will go buy more vehicles.
So we'll get nobody can buy food right now. Farmers have all this extra food. Let's burn it.
Yeah.
What?
Which they still do.
That's
still a thing.
I didn't know. I know nothing about this.
So there's some farmers, depending on depending on the type of agriculture you're in, you have to have specific licenses and blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Okay, now you may get a letter from the whatever department you have that license through, or sometimes it's the Federal Department of Agriculture or whatever, where you have to, they go, hey, we see on your satellite you have planted, X amount of yards of crop. We will give you a check for this much for destroying this much of that crop. And if you don't do that, you will be fined instead. And there you go. Those are choices. Destroy it and get paid almost nothing, or be fined and you get to keep your crop. And usually the fine's so much more than what it would be to just harvest the crop and sell it. But
should we just keep going? I'm sure Nick will explain why.
He might get into that.
Why that?
I think
why is that a thing? Why do they tell them to burn the crops? It doesn't make any sense.
Back then, I'm sure it's still the same, to just control the price of the market, of that particular market. If everybody's like, if 70% of people is growing corn and 15% are growing carrots, well, of those, 60-70% that are growing corn, they're going to start telling those guys, hey, you guys need to get rid of some corn. There's no need for this much corn. You're going to drive the prices way down.
Yeah.
And then
we're going to be giving the stuff
all
away.
Your brothers and sisters growing corn aren't going to be able to pay their bills and shit. So it's, yeah. If I had to guess, is that the government's place to do?
That totally,
really,
that tracks. I would totally buy that. That's the reason they would do that. Dude, economy is, it doesn't make any sense. Money doesn't. All right,
it doesn't make any sense that the government gets to control it.
Yeah, yeah, like these systems that they put in place. You're just like this, and that's what we're getting into right now.
Yeah,
one of these
systems.
Let's go.
Which meant the farmers couldn't sell food, so the government came in and said,
I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
They then went to the people that can't afford food and took some of their money by force and then gave it to the farmers to then destroy the food that these people need to eat because they're starving. And then the prices of the food went up. So now the people that already can't afford food definitely can't afford food. It's literally so stupid, it's evil. Luckily, we live in America. There's an entire system of checks and balances, and by 1936, the Agricultural Adjustment Act was deemed unconstitutional and overturned by the Supreme Court. So realizing that what he was doing was stupid, evil, and unconstitutional, FDR just let the idea go like any normal person would. No, I'm just kidding. He pretty much immediately issued another program that was basically identical, but it was just different enough to not be unconstitutional this go around, and that would buy him a couple of more years before they could shut him down again. And that was called the Agricultural Marketing Agreement Act of 1937. Now, coupled with that, in 1937, FDR realized that they're just going to overturn his policies again at the Supreme Court level. So he then attempted to pack the Supreme Court so that he had enough people in the Supreme Court to just pass his policies through, whether they were unconstitutional or not. At this point in time, the Supreme Court had 9 Supreme Court justices, and FDR put out a new policy and tried to force it through Congress that would allow him to appoint 6 more for a total of 15 Supreme Court justices. Now, this act that would allow FDR to appoint more Supreme Court justices did not make it through Congress, but a lot of historians believe the reason it didn't make it through Congress was because as soon as all of this added political pressure got placed on the Supreme Court, and it looked like they were going to lose some of their power by diluting the entire court, some of them switched their opinion over to start letting FDR's New Deal policies through. This is commonly referred to as the switch in time to save the 9, referring to some of the justices switching their opinion over to save the effectiveness of the Supreme Court. Basically, the Supreme Court got bullied into letting FDR do what he wanted, whether it was unconstitutional or not. So now the Supreme Court is scared to shut down FDR for doing anything unconstitutional. In 1938, he reinstates a slightly modified version of the Agricultural Adjustment Act that they had already struck down. Buh! I don't know why you're making FDR seem like he was a bad president. He got us through World War II and he was a great guy. Buh! Okay, first of all, I don't know how he gets credit for getting us through World War II when he didn't even make it through World War II. He passed away before World War II ended. As for being a good guy, yeah, maybe. Sure. As long as we're willing to overlook attempting to pack the Supreme Court so that he could continue to burn crops while Americans are starving, confiscating gold from American citizens via executive order, refusing to sign anti-lynching legislation because he didn't want to upset the Dixiecrat voter base in the South, solidifying the Federal Reserve, hiding his disability from the American voter so that he could be the only president to serve more than 2 terms.
You're saying
Yes.
Yes.
Let's talk about
persecuting 600,000 Italian
What movie
Americans.
is that?
I don't know.
I have seen that clip.
I've just seen that clip
several times. Someone tell me in the comments what movie that's from, because I would like to watch that movie and see get the context of the whole actual movie. Because that clip right there is actually incredible.
It's crazy.
What's the dude's name? Jeff Daniels. Jeff Daniels goes up and gives his monologue about everything. Dude, it is very super impressive, and I would be really interested to see what the rest of that movie's about. So somebody let me know in the comments what that's from. I could probably look it up. I mean, he might have it referenced in his description, but I'll let it burn, and I'll wait for you guys to let me know, because it's more fun that way, right? Yeah. Then it's where everybody's interacting. We're all having a good time. We're having a good time.
We're having a good time.
Let's talk about
persecuting 600,000 Italian Americans by declaring them an enemy of the state, where they were then subjected to confiscations, internment, and curfews, and then interning 125,000 Japanese Americans in camps where they lost their homes, their businesses, and had to stay there for years for no reason other than the fact that we were at war with Japan, and their family or they came over from Japan to America because they...
Which we had one of those camps here in Wyoming. It's Heart Mountain.
Is that what that was? Heart Mountain?
Yep.
Does that still exist? Or Heart Mountain is still there, but it's not
it's still there.
It's not operational.
From what I understand, the camp is still there, but they have a little thing that
like
tells
a memorial
you
thing.
the history.
Yeah. Okay,
and
I got
blah,
you.
blah, blah.
Where is that at?
It's Heart Mountain. I was there one time when I was fucking tall, so a couple days ago.
A couple hours back, you know. I feel like I've been there too. I can't remember.
It's been a very long time.
Can't remember when. It's one of those Wyoming things.
It's one of those things in the Bighorns, people who live in the Bighorns know exactly where that's at. Everybody outside of the Bighorns is it's part of the Bighorns.
Part of the Bighorns.
The Bighorns are just fucking massive. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
And they're really not. They're they're tall mountains. The Bighorns are tall.
They're tall, and they're quite surprisingly deep.
They're pretty wide.
Yeah.
But they're not lengthwise. It's just kind of it pops up over here and then stops over there. Yeah. That's the Bighorns. Yeah, it's a super dope mountain range, though. It's beautiful up there. But yeah, for sure. It's I don't know. It's part of the Bighorns, something like that.
Over there somewhere.
Tetons, Bighorns.
It's been a very, I think I was maybe
I can't remember.
8.
The name sounds familiar, and it's one of those things where I've been to every Wyoming attraction thing, touristy thing, because I've been here my whole life.
That's the nice thing about Heart Mountain is I don't remember it being we went up there. We were the only people. There wasn't a real, it's not it had wooden plank walk-ups and
no. It's just pretty primitive.
In the mountains.
Yeah, I feel I'm pretty sure I've been there. I'd have to see it. Maybe look it up. Look up some photos and find it out. Then I'll see something and they'll be oh, it's that place. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Do we go back?
No.
War with Japan, and their family or they came over from Japan to America because they thought America was better. So yeah, if we're willing to overlook all that, he sounds chill as fuck. Probably a great guy. I'm getting sidetracked. I'm sorry. So this is the political landscape we have going into World War II. So World War II happens. America raises a massive army. I think it totaled in almost 16 million men throughout the course of World War II. Damn. And obviously, you got to feed 16 million men. Jeez. And one of the easiest food products to actually buy up and then preserve and ship across an entire ocean without it going bad happened to be raisins. So the United States is now buying up a ton of raisins. So obviously the demand goes up, meaning the price goes up, meaning more people start making fucking raisins to sell to the US government, because that's how capitalism works. Yeah. Fast forward, World War II ends, the entire military gets to come back home, resume civilian life. The military shrinks dramatically, meaning that you've got less men to feed, meaning that the US government quits buying so many raisins. Now, all the service members could go home and buy raisins on their own if they liked raisins, but guess what? Nobody fucking likes raisins, so nobody's buying the raisins. The price plummets, at which point capitalism should probably kick in again, and the growers are gonna realize, oh, there's not a huge market for raisins anymore. I should probably do something else. Now that's what should happen. But in this particular instance, the government, for whatever reason, decides, dude, I like raisins. I think we should keep overproducing raisins, and then the government will come up with some solution on how to stabilize the price of raisins.
This looks familiar. Where have I seen this before?
Which is great news, because if the U.S. government has a long, proven track record of doing anything at all,
Best editing,
it's obviously
dude. Best
stabilizing
editing.
things. I mean, look at the Middle East. So the government says, okay, here's what we're going to do. Under the authority of the Agricultural Management Agreement Act of 1937, we're going to use that authority to create a new government entity that we're going to call the Raisin Administration Committee. We're going to have a whole government entity at the federal level solely committed to raisins. Now, right off the bat, that sounds kind of dumb, but don't worry, it gets way worse because the Raisin Administration Committee is actually directly under the authority of the Department of Agriculture. And the reason that's a big deal is because the Department of Agriculture was founded with executive authority in 1862, meaning that the Department of Agriculture is part of the executive branch of the United States government, which more or less means whatever policies they adopt internally are basically de facto written into law. And if anybody disagrees, they have to take them to court and prove that it was unconstitutional, which is a gigantic hurdle that takes years. Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you that the federal government just created a new federal entity for raisins that has executive authority. So the Raisin Administration Committee immediately gets to work stabilizing the price of raisins, aka driving the price of raisins up, even though they shouldn't cost that much. So they get to work at doing it.
This whole thing starts from Nick explaining how it should work. How it should regulate itself again, and the farmers are going to start growing other crops because there's no demand for the grapes, and that worked, or for the raisins, and that's how it works. Yeah, great. I love how he's just like,
but instead,
no. The government's like, I like raisins, and so we're just going to keep making way too many of them. I'll figure it out. Hang on, and then we get off on these tangents where it's like, these are the turning points in the videos where I'm just like, oftentimes with the government when they've stepped in, and all of a sudden I'm just sitting over here like,
why? Like,
are we still talking about raisins? Like, this is crazy, right? Like, this is crazy.
You know,
this happened?
The thing is like throughout history it's happened several times, and then now we have Elon poking around in federal funding, looking at, hey, where is all this money actually going? And it's like, I would love to hear an up to speed, if you will, okay, for the donut fans up there.
I like that.
The up to speed on some of these programs that Elon's exposed, because they're probably not. I mean, some of them are probably 5-10 years old. They might be a couple 2 or 3 years old, but like one of the ones that just strikes me is it was like there was $2 million or $200 million to reboot Sesame Street in Iraq or Afghanistan, one of the two. And it's like,
what?
Why are we like, what CIA operation is going on to reboot Sesame Street? Like, I would love to hear the up to speed on that particular like thing.
Man, there's
and I think most of it now hasn't been confirmed yet. But if I had to guess, most of it's money laundering for politicians is what I'd have to guess.
Oh yeah, there is past a certain point when it comes to finance. Yeah. I mean, once you hit a certain point, nobody has any actual idea what's happening to some of that money. I shouldn't say nobody. A few people, a
few people,
very select amount of people know what's going on with that money. Nobody else does.
Yeah.
No one has any idea, dude.
Yeah.
And so so I'm sure it's if not laundering for politicians, it could be, dude, I don't know, robbing Peter to pay Paul or whatever the thing is. It could be. I mean, there could be so much going on, dude.
The Sesame Street is actual like Delta Force. Okay?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? No idea, man. Wow, dude. I am from the government, and I'm here to help.
AKA driving the price of raisins up, even though they shouldn't cost that much. So they get to work at doing it, and the plan they come up with how to do it is they're going to go to every raisin grower, farmer, manufacturer, however you want to do that. You fucking grow grapes and then you leave them out in the sun, whatever that guy is. They go to those guys and they're like, hey, here's the new policy that we've just written into law under nobody's authority. The new rule, the new law, is that you're going to have to give us a certain percentage of your crop every year based on however much we decide you're going to give us, and you have zero recourse. We're going to take it for a grand total of $3.99. We're not going to give you shit.
$3.99.
And we're going to hoard it in the National Raisin Reserve. Now, once they're in the National
Oh
Raisin
my God.
Reserve, we can go ahead.
my God.
Fucking way.
Oh my God.
Is it under a mountain?
It's fucking
next to
Cheese
the cheese?
Mountain. It's fucking Cheese Mountain. It's happening.
Oh my God.
Wow.
There's no way.
He joked about it, and I was like, okay, yeah, we're touching on the same thing. No. They're driving the truck down the same fucking road. Like, they're heading to Cheese Mountain, dude. Like, what? Oh my God.
Just a reboot to the same.
Just a reboot or a pre-boot, whatever you want to call it.
We're going to hoard it in the National Raisin Reserve. Now, once they're in the National Raisin Reserve, we can go ahead and do whatever the fuck we want with them. A lot of the times we're donating them to the military for rations. We're donating them to schools for school lunch programs. This is why every person my age and 20 years older than me, or probably younger than me, has eaten a shit ton of these in elementary school. It's because the government was getting them for free by stealing them from farmers.
Dude.
Now, to be completely fair and intellectually honest,
that is
there was
so
a way
crazy.
that the farmers could make some money from the National Raisin Reserve, and that was if the administration committee decided that they weren't going to donate it to school programs or the military or sit there and let it rot, which they did to a ton of raisins. They just literally...
I legitimately remember some days in class, like at the end of school or whatever, towards the end of the school day, like after lunch or chilling, whatever time it might be in your class. And I'm talking like elementary school.
Yeah.
I legitimately remember... like one of the lunch ladies or principal or whoever would come in with like a couple of crates full of milk.
Yeah.
The got milk fucking thing, the cheese thing.
Oh, it was all going on, man.
And fucking raisins. And we would get milk and raisins at the end of the day. It's like a snack. Like, here's a snack.
Yeah.
And it's legitimately because they just had so much of it that they were just like, get rid of the shit. Get rid. Well, I don't. Yeah. We have.
And the Raisin Bran, he showed that cereal.
Dude,
I remember elementary school was Raisin Bran for breakfast.
Yep.
My grandma was huge on the cinnamon raisin, what was it, English muffins.
Dude, oh my
she
God.
Love those. Okay, and then we had those at school, those little packs.
Little red
My
packs,
dad got like the little bigger pack. It was almost like a full cigarette pack,
exactly
you know what I mean, full of raisins.
Dude. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, we had those. Like my dad would buy a big case of them because they were so cheap. Like
this was, and look, okay, I'm at a point in my life where this was probably explained to me at some point in my educational pursuit.
No, there's no way.
I didn't like history classes. I hated government class. I did not like history.
I loved history.
I didn't pay attention in those classes. So it's very possible this was covered for me at one point, and I just missed it because I didn't care. But it sounds like maybe
I
it
love
wasn't.
history.
We didn't go to the same school, but like
touched it.
I don't remember learning about this when I was going through history, and maybe it was because the government didn't want us to know about what was going on.
Well,
with
yeah,
Cheese
they were
Mountain.
running a psyop on the milk thing.
Like,
okay,
yeah, like I don't know.
They got milk.
Maybe it was just
it was
because
all happening
it was
once.
happening at that time, so we were learning about stuff that had happened before that, so it hadn't actually made it to the books. Maybe it's in print now. I don't know.
I feel like all the history stuff I learned was like, you know, Mesopotamia and fucking ancient Aztecs.
There's a lot of,
like super old shit.
World history, not like American history, like world history shit. Yeah.
I mean, we did cover American history like middle school-ish, and then got to high school and it was back to like Greek and Roman type shit. Like,
and see, that was the thing that didn't interest me. I just didn't care.
I mean, I enjoyed that stuff. I just didn't understand. Like, I guess I understand the purpose of it, but like, why didn't we start there in elementary school and then maybe towards high school get more towards, hey, 80 years ago, there was some shit going on, like
Cheese Mountain, and Grape Mountain were happening. It's just crazy to think that like he triggers these weird memories for me where I'm like, holy shit!
Oh my God, I remember that.
He's like, because everyone in their classroom had one, and I'm like, the second he held the box up, I was like,
holy shit.
Son of a bitch. I had that so many times. I had raisins brought by so many times. They were just like, here's a box full of raisins.
Yeah.
No wonder, dude. The school was just like, dude, we got to get rid of these.
I think about that now. I'm like, what a weird snack. But as a kid, dude, it was just they were everywhere.
Everywhere.
You could almost
everywhere,
just like ask anybody. They had them.
And then after school, after you're done with the snacks, the teacher's got to go through the classroom every day and pick up all the raisins
that
are on the ground
underneath the desk.
Yeah.
Rotted and they had to throw them away.
Teachers don't make enough money, man.
If they decide that they wanted to sell some of the raisins to a foreign market that didn't interfere with the American raisin price, whatever they sold that for, the farmers would get a kickback. But if they did sell it, it was at a highly reduced rate, and the money amounted to nowhere near the cost of actually growing the raisins.
Oh, sure.
Okay, do you understand what has happened?
Right.
This is literally a raisin cartel. Like, this isn't clickbait. This isn't, oh, the fat electrician came up with a funny name for his YouTube title. No, the definition of cartel is literally, and I quote, an association of manufacturers or suppliers with the purpose of maintaining prices at a high level and restricting competition. It is straight up a raisin cartel.
People, listen up. This is a national security emergency. We have an imminent threat.
The
Raisin Card Committee.
I just read that right before.
That's so good.
Meanwhile, I'm the Raisin Car Committee.
Oh, shit.
This is a national security emergency. We have an imminent threat.
The Raisin Administration Committee is literally rolling up to every raisin grower in the country saying, give me a cut or else. And this goes on from 1949 until 2015. But the hero of our story comes into play in 2002. And that hero is a humble raisin farmer by the name of Marvin Horne, who in 2000/2003 was told by the Raisin Administration Committee that this year they would be confiscating 47% of his crop and giving him fucking nothing in return. Just so we're all on the same page, the federal government rolled up to a raisin farmer and said, hey, I'm gonna steal 47% of your crop, but don't worry, you can keep the other 53%. But I just need to mention, once you sell that 53% of your raisin crop, that's gonna count as income and you're gonna have to pay income taxes.
Dude.
And then whatever money is left, you can have to spend on whatever you want. But whenever you spend that money, I'm also gonna charge you sales tax. It's literally the mafia. Anytime money moves, you gotta give the grape father a cut.
No shit. Right?
No shit. Fellas. I'm so sorry. Okay, I did one dad joke. I'm done. Okay,
the grape
it's just
fellas.
The entire situation is completely unreasonable.
Ha!
God damn it.
Ha!
Yeah, babe.
Nick, oh my God, I missed my period.
I know.
What do you mean you know?
I heard it through the grapevine.
Goodbye.
He just...
Anyways, by this point,
The
Marvin
sly
Horne
look
is
at the
driven to
camera,
brink.
dude.
He can't stay in business functioning like this, so he's just driven to the edge, and he finally stands up for himself, and he says, no, I'm not going to keep living like this. I'm not going to give you 47% of my entire crop. I'm going to keep everything that I own, and I'm going to sell it myself. And the Raisin Cartel is immediately furious.
Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions.
So the Raisin Administration Committee orders him to pay back the value of the raisins to the committee, approximately $400,000. And then, because he wasn't a good little boy that just forked over half of his living, they decided they were also going to fine him an additional $200,000 for his disobedience, which apparently is completely legal because they have executive authority, which means apparently you can do whatever the fuck you want all the time and it's not against the rules. So Marvin Horne realizes he's going to have to defend himself, so he starts looking into the law, and he starts at the first place that you should always start, the Constitution. Okay, Amendment number 1 says I can pray to whoever I want and say whatever I want, and you're not allowed to stop me. Amendment number 2 says I have guns if you disagree with the first one. And rule number 3 says I don't have to have soldiers sleep in my house. Rule number 4 says no unreasonable searches and seizures. Oh, here we are. Rule number 5, where it clearly says, and I quote, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Sounds to me like it's a pretty clear-cut case of it's a violation of the 5th Amendment. So obviously, they go to court. Marvin Horne wins immediately because he can literally read the 5th bullet point of the founding document of the entire fucking country. No, I'm just kidding. A 12-year legal battle ensues that goes all the way to the Supreme Court, gets kicked back down into another district court, and then goes back to the Supreme Court again. So after a damn near 13-year-long legal battle, Marvin Horne finally wins with the Supreme Court citing in his...
Over just that, a bullet point on the Constitution.
That like very clearly
that says exactly.
But I'm sure here's where the lawyers were fighting, right? What defines just compensation? Like, I'm sure that's where like the big...
Well, we put a billboard up for his,
like,
you know, like over on highway whatever.
But see, like if we don't take these and burn them, then the value of the entire industry just goes down.
So the industry is at risk based on your...
It's still compensation. It's just not in the form of money.
I bet that was... Dude, almost 13 years? What a nightmare.
Yeah.
I haven't even been, like... Dude, 13 years is a long time.
Yeah.
To do anything.
Yeah.
If I spent 13 years doing anything, I'd be pretty fucking good at it, right? Like,
if I spent 13 years sitting in a courtroom, dude, oh my God, fucking blow my
You'd be pretty good at sitting in a courtroom at that point,
Yeah.
wouldn't you? You'd know exactly what was going on.
And just walk in, be best friends with the bailiff.
Everyone, yeah.
Do the
What's up,
thing.
man?
Like-
John, how you doing? Good to see
Yeah.
you. How's the coffee this morning? You'd be totally one of those situations, dude.
After a damn near 13-year-long legal battle, Marvin Horne finally wins with the Supreme Court siding in his favor in an 8-1 decision. And this is the part where I wish I could end the video just saying like, hooray, the good guys finally won in the end, and it all worked out, and we all got together and sang Kumbaya by the fireplace. The Raisin Administration Committee lost its federal status, and they just became a lobbying group. The Federal Raisin Reserve evaporated into thin air, and it all went away, and all was right in the world. But my brain doesn't work that way because I have to know who the Supreme Court justice was that voted against Marvin Horne. So I looked into it, and of course, it was Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor. So I found her dissenting opinion where she wrote it up. I'm not going to read it to you guys because it's like 20 pages and it's all in lawyer jargon. But the abbreviated version of her argument was she didn't believe what the Raisin Administration Committee was doing was technically a taking. And her justification for that was, well, technically, even though the Raisin Administration Committee did in fact take his shit without his permission, they could have potentially, if they decided to, sold some of those raisins. And if they did sell some of those raisins, they were gonna give him a small portion of the proceeds. Therefore, that's not technically a taking.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Do you understand how violently stupid that opinion is? Okay, like let's apply this logic to any other situation.
Here we go.
Okay? Let's say that I'm a burglar and I break into your house. I sit you there on the table and I take 47% of all the shit in your house. I steal it, I walk away, I'm fucking gone. Later, the cops catch me, okay? And while I'm arrested in handcuffs and they take me into court, I look the judge in the face and I go, well, Your Honor, it technically wasn't me being a burglar and stealing because I was considering selling some of their shit at a heavy discount to a pawn shop. And if I did that, I had every intention of giving them some of the money back later. Do you think the judge would let me not go to prison? No, because that's fucking dumb. I got here, okay? Like a week ago, I got an email. Somebody said, like, hey, Fat Electrician, you should look into Marvin Horne, the raisin farmer that defeated the federal government. Now I have this conspiracy theory about how FDR created a raisin cartel that extorted raisin farmers for 70 years straight. And I'm making a video for the internet, probably pissing off the raisin cartel. And now I need to go into witness protection because they're going to come and sun dry me and my whole family. I gotta go get ready for an altercation with the Raisin Mafia, I think. Thanks for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over the fatelectrician.com.
Like those koozies.
Quack, bang, out.
He's got,
hell yeah.
We got to go to his store to see everything
and
that he has.
now we wait. Yeah, babe.
You just got a weird package from the Raisin Administrative Company.
Do not open.
Do not open that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go to his merch store sometime. Just look at everything that he's got. He's got tons of stuff, dude.
You know, here's what I found. The last time I was there, he does like monthly things. So, love that guy.
Love this guy so much.
So the last time I was at his store, he has like 4 items to choose from. That's it.
Okay.
But every month they rotate. So like if you guys didn't get the Hilux truck, which I really fucking wanted, okay, you had to get it during that time.
Okay.
So now he does have ones on there that are just there
permanent.
all
Yeah,
the
I'm
time.
sure he's got like his standard logos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like for his one-off things, that's cool, dude. And that's a smart way to do it too. Because then you can bring that stuff back around. Anything that you don't sell, it's like, well, I market it for a month and then I take it off. And then if somebody wanted that thing, the demand, here we are, the demand goes up. So then when I put it back on, I'm more apt to be able to sell some of those.
If I had to guess, he doesn't like buy the shirts and then he probably has somebody who he sends them the design and then, hey, if I sell this, like it's a third party thing. Where they give him a kickback.
Well, I don't know. A lot of these channels are doing it by themselves. They have their own press rooms and stuff where they do all that shit. Even these guys that have millions and millions of subscribers, they're doing it themselves. I don't know. Everyone's got a different setup, right? It's different for everybody.
Let us know if there's a company you recommend.
Yeah, because
we are all ears.
Yeah, we need to get into doing something like that.
Distribution and shipping that kills us.
Yep. So I don't know how, if there's like a certain type of account we can sign up for, which obviously we would probably have to pay for it for the year, but then it gets you a certain rate on shipping no matter what the thing is, or if we'd be better off just going with flat rate boxes and adjusting our prices based on that, because flat rate boxes will ship anything you can fit in them up to a certain weight, and shirts don't weigh anything. So like,
I just need people to label and ship, man. That's it.
Really, what we need. Yeah, we just need. Yeah, and we're not. We don't even have merch. So, like, we're not in a hurry to get that stuff done right away, but we just need to... We're considering it again. It's going to be a big year. We got a lot going on. I can't believe it's already almost the end of February.
Yeah.
Like, how are we in March already? How are we almost in March?
Crazy, man.
Like, what is going on? Slow down.
In 4 days, I've been married a year. That's fucking crazy.
That's
fucking crazy.
4. That's crazy, dude. You got married on Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Really?
I got married the day you were in jail, bro.
I was just gonna. I didn't want to bring it up.
Dude, I was so
like, dude, you got married 2 days after I went to jail, huh? Damn. All right. What a crazy.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know you were in until the morning of my wedding. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, then I'm all trying to make some phone calls and fucking, they're like, no, fuck off.
I was getting out that day, so it was like, yeah.
I tried to save him, guys. I tried. Okay.
I'm here. Everything's fine.
Police told me to fuck off. It's like, damn, bro.
They told me that too.
Yeah.
But I'm here. Everything's fine.
Wild, man.
We're good. Everything's good.
Everything's good.
So, yeah, anyways, 5 out of 5 for the man, Mr. Fat Electrician. We need to look into some merch for sure. I would love to add some more merch, and I think his would be the next one that I would get. Something from his store for sure. And if you guys like what you see today, stay tuned this week because there may or may not, but definitely is more Fat Electrician coming on the channel.
There's some more coming.
Yep.
If you guys enjoyed today's episode, be sure to leave a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, click the bell, become part of the notification gang.
Oh, all I wanted to say was we're going live Saturday, and I totally missed it.
And we're going live Saturday.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next time. Ow.
Notification gang.
We're going live Saturday. No, wait, no, notification.
I was just cycling over my head. Go live Saturday. Get that in there. And then all of a sudden we were past the thing, and I was like, oh, missed it.
Missed it.
Missed it by a mile, dude.
Waste the internet, dude.
Platinum internet mega hits.
Wasting the internet.
That's all we know around here. That's the only way we can do it. I don't know any other way. Sometimes you end up doing something and you're just the best at it immediately. And you're just like, people are like, what's your secret? And you're like, I don't know. I'm just good.
I just show up and do it.
I'm just inherently, I guess this is just what I was born to do. Sit in my shitty house in my paycheck to paycheck studio that I've created from Amazon equipment.
God.
And just make platinum mega hits all fucking day, every day. All day, every day.
Hilarious. Just sit here in my shitty house.
In my shitty house, in my paycheck to paycheck studio. It's fine. No, I talk shit, but I'm pretty fortunate. I mean, I work my ass off.
The thing that makes comedy so great is, there's a hint of truth in everything.
Oh, I think part of what makes comedy that funny is that like most of the shit that comedians say is just like real shit that happens, but
it's embellished.
The comedic part is like how their brain reacted, not necessarily how they physically reacted, but what happened in their brain, and then they explain it to you, and you're like, yep. Same shit, dude. I would have done the same thing, and that's what makes it funny.
The funniest thing, John Caparella comes out and says, "Yeah, Casper. Yeah, it's good to see you guys." Everybody all clapping and shit. He goes, "God, it's cold."
He's
cold.
Like,
I got off the airplane. I got to the rental car. I'm like, "Fuck it." The air, it just hurts.
It hurts. Yeah.
Yeah.
It legitimately, for anyone that's not been out this way, and I don't know if any of this will make it into the edit, but for anyone that's not been out this way, if you make it out this way
during this time
and it's winter time, like in between December and March, it legitimately, like, if you've never experienced it before, there are some days where like it hurts to just exist.
Yeah.
Like you go outside and it's just like you can just feel your body trying to shrink in on itself.
The thing is like, sure, it feels cold, but it's not the cold. I don't know how to explain it. It's not the cold that hurts. I mean, it is. There we go. Drop mics.
There we go. That's what I was waiting on. We'll try it one more time. If it goes off, we'll just say fuck it. We're almost onto a new computer. We're almost onto a new PC.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it's almost, the feeling is like you're being frozen from the inside out. And it feels like a ton of like little tiny needles just piercing your skin.
It goes right past your skin.
Yeah.
It goes straight into your bones. Like like you said, your body, your skin as an organism doesn't have time to react to how cold it is. All of a sudden, it's just like...
Your skin can't react to how cold your bones are.
It's
so fucking stupid.
And your brain is trying to comprehend why you've made this decision
Why
to
did I
somehow
walk outside
all of a sudden now you're forcing me to go into survival mode here because you've entered this frozen tundra, and now you got blood pumping and like your nose starts running, and now your beard is frozen with mucus.
Yeah.
And it freezes instantly. Yeah, your nose still runs, but it's like a weird frozen. I don't know, dude. I just live here. Okay, I just live here. It hurts, and sometimes it hurts. Summer's great. Come on through in the summer. It's a great time out here. All right, let's go.
That was funny.